It's Matt. He's drinking some drink. What
I've got a gin. I've got a gin. It's rhubarb gin.
Rhubarb. I can't have rhubarb.
Oh, you're allergic, aren't you?
It goes right through me, Matt. Go right through me. It's
That's delightful.
like a bloody waterfall.
That's delightful.
What a beautiful way to begin.
What a beautiful thing. I'm going to get you a Christmas present just full of like rhubarb sweets, rhubarb drinks, beer, gin, wine.
Drinks are flowing, shit are flowing, what a crimbo.
I'm alright. Apart from that, I'm good. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Apart from that vision, yeah. I mean, it's myself in the vision, so it's not.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm good, mate. You know, I was very excited for our podcast today, mate.
All
day. I've just been very much looking forward to it.
Oh, well, it's always really exciting seeing your beautiful face every week.
It's an absolute pleasure seeing yours, mate.
I mean,
and hearing Rachel doing the cooking behind you, it's always an absolute joy to hear what a lovely face.
Do you want to know what we're having? Well, we're having a dal today, right?
A dal,
a dal, yeah. So she'll be in and out because she's got to make sure it doesn't stick in the pan. She's just spilled it all over the hob.
So far, so good.
Oh no, it's all right. Don't panic. We'll fix it later. Kitchens are meant to be messy. Great. Well, see you later, dear listener. This might be a really short podcast.
That night, Matthew Jewson died.
I'm glad you're excited for the podcast. I'm glad that you're up for it. I think Christmas is around the corner. I'm on my little onesie as well. I'm getting very excited about Christmas. We've got our Christmas podcast that are coming out soon, mate.
We have.
Oh my God.
You did an absolute banger of a social media post. It was gorgeous. We had little Christmas hats on. Should we go through do you want to go through the lineup?
I think we absolutely should, because it's important, right? So this December, dear listener, we're going to be doing in Wildcard Christmas movies yet again for the second year. We'll make it an annual thing. Now it is. We're going to be looking at Nightmare Before Christmas, which will be the 30th anniversary version. It will be just the movie, but we'll be celebrating it with Lights, Camera, Rant, which will be Lee, our lovely Lee, who we love. Can't wait to have him back on the podcast.
Can't wait to see his face.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the next guest? Because you've got these guys on as well for the podcast. I'm really excited to meet them.
Yeah, so we also in December we've got Succulent Theatre. Two of the members I went to university with many moons ago. They do some lovely, feminist theatre. I was trying to think if they describe it as feminist. I think they do. Feminist theatre. They will talk to us all about that. But they're also, Matt, going to be talking about Elf.
Oh, literally.
What a film. What a film.
My all-time favourite Christmas movie.
I literally can't wait. I'm so excited to watch that. They'll be coming on talking about that, talking about themselves. They've got a brilliant show, brilliant group. There's three of them. There's gonna be five of us on that podcast.
Oh mate, it's gonna be busy on this screen.
Oh, it's gonna be popping.
Amazing. And then lastly, in terms of our wildcard movies, we will have the review of Krampus, the movie 2015, which was selected by our guest, Charcuterie, who is a UK drag artist. She's absolutely incredible. One of the most upcoming, let's say, UK drag artists as well of the year. So we're really excited to have her on. And I'm actually petrified to review this movie. It looks flipping terrifying. Have you seen it?
No, I've seen, glimpses. I haven't watched it, though. Have you?
Mate, it looks intense.
Oh, jeez. Is it like a jump? Is it a jump scare job?
I think it's a bit of everything, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be pooping my little rhubarb pants.
Poopy rhubarb pants.
Poopy rhubarb pants. That's my long name.
But that isn't it as well, because what we're also going to do, we're going to have a highlights episode, because last year we did it as well, and we love doing it this year. There's so many highlights from this year. It's been an incredible year for the podcast. So we'll have on New Year's Eve, we'll have a special highlights 2023 Don't Be a Hero podcast episode. And then we're going to then hit 2024 running. And we cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And we've got some interviews coming up in 2024.
Sorry.
Was I muted? What the hell? I didn't know you had the power to mute me, you sod.
I went to mute myself. I muted it. I was like, Christ alive, that's gone quiet. Sorry, mate. I was trying to do a sneaky undercover mute, but no, that absolutely.
Do you need to fart or something?
No. I just just a little squeeze one out.
It's a little trick of the trade, that is, isn't it? The podcasting world, when people just like randomly mute themselves, you go, "I know what you're doing. You're either farting or burping."
I mean, if that's true, then you do that. You do that about 5 times every fucking podcast.
No, just me, guys. just me. Okay. Oh no, never mind. Okay. Well,
I know, because it's the amount of bloody rhubarb you're eating, mate. Absolutely. And Matt with the squirts. Look at him.
Well, I tell you who might love a bit of rhubarb, because she does do a lot of talking. That's Kamala Khan.
Oh.
And we're here to review Miss Marvel. Roll that intro.
There you go. Oh,
Thank you for that wonderful little segue. Oh yes, that was me.
The professionalism this podcast gets each week. We never introduced the theme at all. I used to have to just find a moment, pluck a moment out of thin air, and pop it in. And now, just segue straight in, mate.
That's what comes. I feel like we've leveled up. We're just kind of like going, yeah, we got this. It's about to go downhill now, isn't it, with Pete?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fucking god-awful podcast now you said that.
Yeah. It is.
Miss Marvel, though.
Yeah.
There you go. So, episodes 1 to 3 we're going to cover this week. It was a brand new watch for me. Never seen it up until this go round. Anything new, and at the time Miss Marvel was going on, we already had a podcast. So anything new, I am not watching until we get to it in a podcast, just because I like it. I like it being fresh in my brain.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're lucky as well to have that. I mean, and as well, like the only thing I haven't seen is Werewolf by Midnight, and that's it. So when we get to it, which will be soon, which will be really exciting. But yeah, no, that's a really good idea, mate. Just wait.
I'm absolutely loving it. So, episode 1, Kamala Khan, we get introduced to as a character. The whole episode is about her adventure to Avengers Con. We get met by family. So it's established in a really wonderful way. So it's the families from Pakistan. Talk about in India. They talk about the partition. Is it partition?
Yep. Partition.
Of India. And it's one of the first things I'll say straight off the bat is it's a real celebration of culture. It's a real diving into the culture without it being spoon-fed. That's what you're seeing. Yeah. So you're kind of seeing just everyday life, lots of different stuff going on, lots of diversity within where they live, and you really it's amazing how straight off the bat that's introduced. But they don't say where they're from. You just pick it up from different things that they say. We get family meals at night, family meals within Kamala's home, and it just feels really organic. It just feels really natural. Like this is just a family scene that's playing playing rather in front of your eyes, and none of it feels too forced.
Yeah.
I
now,
quite like that.
So Absolutely agree here. This is my second watch of this, and the first time I watched it, I might have even said it on this podcast before, where I was like, I don't really like it. It's not for me. I don't really enjoy this show. Clearly, it's not for my demographic. Blah 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 blah. Now, I actually really enjoyed it. Particularly this first episode, I think the cinematography is really quite interesting, and the way that the color palette of the show is, and again, yeah, you're right in terms of the representation. It does feel like we're coming into a really human natural habitat for families to be in, and to see a different representation as well in terms of Pakistani families as well, and how they live within Jersey as well. It's really interesting. And again, I didn't really know how much of there was a community actually of Pakistanis in Jersey as well. So I think that's really interesting. I think moving forward and as well going into kind of the series again. But mate, I really enjoyed it. There was some really lovely moments with the animation. You were talking about this with the Marvels, that you enjoyed the animation in the Marvels. I think the introduction of the animation was actually really cool. Talking about the characters, talking about the different types of the heroes, like post Endgame through just kind of drawings and stuff. But also when Kamala and her friend, the name escapes me, I keep calling him fake Peter Parker. Peter Piper picked the pack of pickled peppers. A pack of pickled peppers Peter Parker picked. That guy. When they're riding their bike across the streets and they're animating.
Bruno, I believe.
Bruno, thank you.
Bruno.
Yeah. See, we don't talk about him, but like, thank you.
That was a good bit of business.
Thank you. Okay. Anyway. It's not going to be that type of podcast, guys. I'm going to have one track mind. I'm going straight in. When they're riding through the bikes and they're going through the streets and stuff, you can see all the artwork at the back when they're trying to tell them their plan about going to AvengerCon and stuff. Really cool. That whole kind of element really works for this character, and as a reflection, as you said last week, in terms of the Marvels, we should have had more of that. And actually, I kind of agree now, and seeing it like that made me go, oh, actually, this is quite fun.
Yeah, but I also have the same feelings with this series. Like, they again, very much like the Marvels, they establish the cartoons, they establish her drawings, and then just totally abandon it. And I'm like, but why is this not part of the powers, man? Like, it feels like that should so be something that she, like, she either uses it to plot out her path. So she's like, right, okay, this is what I'm going to draw. This is how I can tackle this fight or tackle this situation. And then we see it unfold, and maybe it slightly changes, and that's where the comedy drives, right? Or it's that she's like, I don't know, part of her power is once she draws it, that becomes reality, or it feels like there's something missing with that. That's such a cool little trope, and they've just they just abandon it, and they do it they've done it in the Marvels, they've done it at the beginning of this. I want me some more of that. Find me, maybe there is like a cartoon girl or cartoon man out there that I don't know about, like a superhero. I would love that. But yeah, no, that was brilliant. We get Kamala's going for exams, but she also wants to go to Avengers Con. Yep. Her parents, and again, we're going back to the kind of culture and Pakistan, and these are everyday kind of things that parents will go through no matter where they live or who they are. Do you know? So like when Kamala's like, jumping out of the house and going off to Avengers Con, her mum's reaction to that, same reaction as anyone would have, right? It so feels like everyday life. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I think actually the depiction of school as well, high school, it was done it's done really well. Again, there are these similarities between Peter Parker and his origin story with Kamala Khan being in a school environment, having the stresses and strains of school environment, and then obviously then acquiring powers around that as well, and how you manage that. And again, just seeing her personality come through prior to then getting the bangle, post getting the bangle, she was like really loving it. That goes later on in the episodes, but like that first episode when they initiate the school, and immediately where she sits within the environment of school as well, that kind of outsider things are still kind of feel growing. Again, it's that coming of age story. Again, I think that kind of, in terms of me talking about my previous comments about it, saying it's not for me. Clearly, it's not for our demographic, but like you can relate to that. Do you know what I mean? We've all been in that environment. So yeah, I thought it was really cool. I think Bruno. Talking about Bruno, the tech whiz that he is was initiated in that first episode. However, it's something that I felt like that needed a little bit more. Like, how are you so good at this? How have you created all these things? How are you supporting in terms of like the cosplay? How, again, just a little. I need a little bit more background from Bruno. I think going forward as well. Like, I think there might be more to his story. I think as well once we get beyond this series, it'd be really cool to see. I don't know whether we'll get another series or maybe another movie. I don't know what the plan is for Miss Marvel going forward. But like, it would be pretty cool to see, this kind of like in tech whiz maybe being like this sidekick, but like in a more detailed capacity as well. Because it felt like he was very much just a sidekick with very little plot, other than the fact that he was jealous that Kamala was then fancying some other guy, like typical high school stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel. Yeah, I wonder if. But if they do something like that, I think it needs to. I don't know if it needs to be separate to Miss Marvel, because it's kind of like, well, you're building up quite a strong female character there. So what I wouldn't want is for them to just interweave Bruno to the point where it's like, oh, here's another Spider-Man, like it's quite a similar vibe to Spider-Man. He's just not got spider powers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't feel like the parents were as funny or just as comical as they were placed in the Marvels.
No, and then, so I still haven't watched episodes 4 to 6, but that is one of the things I've definitely taken away from these episodes is exactly that. They're not as funny, and it's kind of their kind of relationship with Kamala is very different. So, and I'm assuming a lot of those answers will come in the final 3 episodes. But right now, as of the end of episode 3, it's a very different relationship they've got to Kamala than they do in the Marvels. In the Marvel, she could, Kamala can go anywhere, like do anything, and her mum's not really phased by it. And like you say, there's a hell of a lot more comedy there, especially from her brother. Her brother's seems quite almost not strict, but a very like, okay, I'm here to. You're the comedy shtick, and I'm the kind of half serious sibling. Whereas in the Marvels, he's absolutely not that.
He was hilarious in the Marvels, I thought, actually. It was quite funny.
Complete bants everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, these things do happen though. Character development, writers will often look at things and go, yeah, actually, we're going to play this, we're going to hype this. And it was in keeping with the Marvels, I suppose, is all I would say. If they played their characters from this series, whether that would work within the wider remit of the film, I don't know.
That's true.
But that's kind of episode 1. End of episode 1, we get the bangle, bangle of power. And we see that Kamala can kind of play with. I don't think in this first episode, we know anything about the light scenario, but we do know that what she can do is kind of make platforms for people to stand on, walk on. Just some creative stuff. I'm going to use this point to talk about her powers.
Okay.
I don't think her powers are that interesting.
Interesting. Okay, go on then.
Or at least they're not being used in an interesting way. They're quite one-dimensionally used.
It's called hard light, isn't it? Her power that she named it hard light.
Yeah. I think so. So she can make someone appear in, and it's lit up, but it's and then it gets hard. It kind of gets harder, doesn't it? Because it start like when she's training, she's like walking through stuff, and then she has to like let it light up for a little bit longer, and then it becomes, she can walk on it. But I just don't. She can walk on it. She can put it under other people. People can slide on it in the Marvels, or she gets a gigantic or like a lengthy arm. But that's it. And I'm like, I mean, come on. Surely there's some other interesting. But again, maybe that's episodes 4 to 6. Who knows?
It's got that Green Lantern-esque to it, hasn't it? And again, Miss Marvel's a fairly new MC Marvel character, comic book character. And it's clearly kind of derived from that in terms of the power, in terms of how you can form things through light and through different, making shape-shifting stuff as well. It does feel like it's very derived from it. I think we haven't seen, especially we don't see the full capabilities of her power through here. Obviously, it's an origin story, but equally, I think even when you watch the Marvels, you don't really see much of the full capabilities there. But maybe we're still yet to see that.
Yeah, like I say, maybe it's going to evolve or grow, but certainly if it stays the way it is, I think that's quite a disappointing use of that power. It's like, she creates light. She can create like walls that don't exist, or like she can shield people, or I'm sure there must be really cool things she can do. But,
again, you only got a certain amount of time in terms of these series as well. Like, with the episodes, they kind of run around about 35 to 40 minutes. It's really funny. I kind of laughed a bit because when Disney Plus do this, right? Your TV series, they'll say the episode is about 58 minutes. And it's like, well, no, because 12 minutes of that is credits. Like, literally 12 minutes of the Miss Marvel series is credits. So you're only really getting 35 to 40 minutes of screen time. So there's only a finite kind of amount of storytelling that they can do. But I think in terms of the what I laughed at, and again, it was kind of like, oh, okay, here we go. No one really thought of something else here. But how she found the bangle.
Oh, yeah.
Just up, just found it in the loft, just found it through his chest, just found it through there. And it's just kind of really casual, and it's not significant. I know the significance of the bangle is revealed through the plot later in the episodes, but we don't get any kind of context to the bangle. I think that's what we kind of missed in that first part of the episode, and the second as well.
I think she should have put on the bangle when it first arrived to the house. Or I can't remember. Does it arrive, or do they find it downstairs?
She finds it and then she hides it and takes it to Avenger Con, doesn't she?
Yes. But she goes upstairs. Her mum originally tells her to put it in the attic, doesn't she? And then before she leaves, she goes to the attic, picks it up. Oh, what a way to flex your Thor hammer there, mate.
Oh, well, this whole thing. Sorry.
For people listening, because this is a podcast, Matt's just brought out his Thor's hammer.
Monia, got anything to say?
Monia?
I love how you say it.
Monia?
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 Yeah, very good.
Yes, I think it should have gone that as soon as Kamala finds the box downstairs, she should then put it straight on, and that's what should have made her mum go, "Whoa, you didn't put that on," and then she goes, "Oh," and then her mum just shakes her head as she walks off, and then she's like, "What's this gonna do?" And then, the same thing could have happened throughout the rest of the episode. It just didn't quite make sense. I do agree with you. It doesn't really make sense that she would go to the attic and put that as soon as she put it in the attic the first time, she wouldn't be bothered about it again. Do you know what I mean? And she wouldn't go back to it. No.
When she picked it up and decided to go, oh yeah, I'll take this. It's like, did you take it because you think it looks cool, or did you take it because you felt some sort of power? Is there something calling you to it? If it's just because, oh no, I'll take this because this would look cool if I wear it, or I might want to wear it later, or I'm stealing it. I don't know. It didn't really match up. I think it would have been nice to kind of get some sort of real context to it before seeing it, because it is important. That is her power. She herself isn't supernatural. Oh well, that's not true. She is, isn't she? Because she's got the connection, hasn't she, through her ancestry to the bangle, which makes her powerful. Yes, I'm wrong, but it just felt like it just needed more signifying. So there was something about it. Again, maybe we haven't, seen yet the full extent of the powers yet, because now is again, I don't want to say what's happened, because if you haven't watched the Marvel, still listen. I don't want to spoil it for you. But in terms of what happens in that we might see more of the powers, considering what happens with her bangle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I really tried not to ruin it there. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
That's a nice
was
way to skirt
really
over
difficult.
it.
I have a literal sweat on my brow.
Oh, the sweat of your brow, sir.
Don't spoil it for people. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I'm going to go on a tangent here. I mean, if you've went and seen the Marvels, there's all kinds of reactions on it at the moment on the internet, and honestly, it is tiresome. I don't know, mate. Do you get this in your algorithm? I have got a lot of people moaning about it. A lot of people moaning about it, and just saying that, the failure of the Marvels has been the success of the cancel culture in MCU. Finally, we're going to move forward and stop making these crappy projects and stuff. This kind of just real... I mean, it's such an overused word, but the toxicity around the divide in the fandom is rife at the moment. It's actually crazy.
I think one thing that kind of puts into context for me is the fact that there are official, statistics that show that it's had the second worst performing weekend of any Marvel project. So naturally, less people have seen it than most Marvel projects. Therefore, most of the people who are saying it's shit probably haven't watched it. Because, and I would deem the most outspoken people definitely didn't actually watch it. Because if you actually watched it and you watched all of the Marvel projects, including She-Hulk, you would fully know it's not shit. If you watched Eternals and you watched She-Hulk, you would know it's not shit.
Well, it's not a good movie,
but it's not shit.
Exactly.
It is not shit.
Exactly.
You can watch it and go, I enjoyed myself.
Exactly.
And I did enjoy myself more than you. But
you did.
You don't like female-led movies. I'm not.
You can't say that.
You don't like women. It's I am jesting. Please do not cancel Matt.
Please don't. Oh my god! It's just not true. I said it. I said my thoughts last week, and I said them really clearly in terms of it's got nothing to do with the gender. It's got nothing to do with representation. It's got to do with storytelling, and that's what that is. But you're. I mean, you thought I was scathing, mate. You should hear some of the other people's comments. It is actually, it's unreal. Somebody said, I'm not going to call them out, but somebody did say, and it did make me laugh. They were like, before or just after Endgame, when before we got to Endgame, we were all looking forward to every movie, and every movie we went in knowing it was going to be amazing, it was going to be a great movie, and then the comment section was like, clearly this guy has never seen Ant-Man. Clearly this guy has never seen it's just a bit contrived, and it's just, I think everybody needs to calm down. Everybody needs to settle, calm the F down. The Marvels is its own project. Some people loved it, some people hated it, some people thought it was okay, some people thought it was a bit meh, all right? That is called watching movies and giving it your own critique, yeah? You're still part of the same fandom. We still love Marvel. We still love the MCU. Yes, there are going to be things that we love, and there are going to be things that we don't love. That is what Disney are doing. They are making a pot of things for everyone. That is what they're doing, okay? We're not always going to be up for watching certain things or be, connected to certain stories. We loved Loki, okay? And then there were other products out there that weren't that great, all right? But there's other... It's just got to calm down, guys. Just got to calm down. Yeah?
We lasted 30 minutes before a Matt tantrum. Look at us.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, mate.
I'm sorry. But should we go back to Miss Marvel?
Oh, yeah. I want some more gin. Gin's gone.
Oh, wow.
No, Rachel just took my glass. Are you going to give me your
Thank you.
Oh, God, please don't put the wrong thing in the wrong thing. Do you imagine? Thing. Hello, Rachel. Rachel is currently staring at me.
Oh, dear. That wasn't a rant, was it? That wasn't a rant. I think it was a fair thing to say. Do you agree? You're being really quiet, mate, after...
Jesus Christ. You need to just have a couple of days sleep.
I
man,
do
mate.
need. I need. I am
you
exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Marvels. So like, I don't really this all hatred. I don't. There were bad bits.
But are you not getting it on your algorithm, mate? We are. We both got access to the socials. Like
the socials.
The socials.
God, you can tell he's in his 40s. The social media, yeah.
I'm not in my 40s.
Miss Marvel. Oh, here we go. There's no time. Oh, it's going for.
There's whiskey. No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, slap on the wrist there, Matty boy. No neats for you.
No neats for me.
Did you just have a neat?
No, it wasn't neat. I know I had a tonic.
Oh, yeah, all right, mate.
Oh, I did.
That's
this is scathing. This is scathing.
You were gulping that,
This
mate.
is scandalous. Forrest's sake, now I've got a drinking problem. Yeah, okay. Matt hates women. Now he's got a drinking problem.
Maybe it'll explain your temper. Episode.
I can't.
Episode 2. Zoe getting all the fame and having a party. So Zoe is the girl we meet in episode 1, who kind of she gets all the fame because Kamala doesn't want to reveal her identity. Still trying to think of a superhero name, and Zoe gets all the attention because she was obviously saved by Kamala.
Yes.
And episode 2 is all about Kamala getting to understand her powers. I don't really understand, I've put here, why her nose or her hand start glowing. So her nose, do you remember in that she's in class and her nose glows?
Yes.
And I'm like, but for what reason? And
I have no idea.
It's never told. Well, so far it's never told.
I thought
by
it
your
was
face.
like a visual mistake, but she was touching it, wasn't she? I genuinely had the same thoughts, mate. I went, what's going on? I thought I missed something. I was watching it and I went, have I just turned away for 20 seconds and something's happened with the note? I don't know. Dear listener, do you know? If you've watched Miss Marvel and we're talking about episode 3, right? Wasn't it?
Yes.
Episode 3, isn't it?
Episode 2.
2, yeah, middle of episode 2. Sorry. When she's in the bathroom and you can see her just over the top of the cubicle, she's got kind of she's got the hard light on her nose. What's the deal there? Do let us know.
And also, nothing happens out of that scene either. So it's not like they did it for a reason. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I don't really get it. Time is it something to do with her? The character we meet later on, Aisha. Something to do with her. I don't know. I got very confused by that. Bruno gets onto his course. The course is in California. At the same time, Kamala has met this bloke, man of her dreams. She's in love. Mm-hmm. Very funny. I did really like the scene where they go out for food and get caught by a brother. And her brother's like, "Oh, who's this?" "Oh, it's my cousin." And they have a whole skit about him, being from India, but he's got an American accent, so he suddenly changes his accent midway. Quite like that. And then this episode had my favourite scene, where it's a dinner scene. And they're talking about the kind of history of India.
I like that bit too.
It's so nice. It's just feels like a genuine scene, and it doesn't feel written. It feels like you're just watching a fly on the wall in a family home.
It's really interesting, and again, I felt like the writing was actually, for the most part, fairly decent, but they were just kind of met with certain trivial moments. But there were certain scenes that felt like they were quite clearly written by somebody else, where it was just it had more depth, it had more honesty, and it was more naturalistic. And that scene in particular, it was just really interesting, wasn't it? It felt very human. And again, when we're telling stories about superhumans, It's really nice just to kind of like be in that kind of environment when you're learning about genuine history as well. Yeah, I thought it was sweet. Yeah, good comment, mate. I agree.
Absolutely.
What are you looking up?
Well,
Sorry, I stopped. I stopped my point. I realised that you started searching something, and I was like, I have nothing else to add. But now you're searching for something really interesting.
I am looking. So, right. So it's Skins, TV series Skins.
Yes.
And do you remember the character of Anwar?
No.
So
Sorry, mate.
Anwar was a character on the series, and his dad reminds me of Kamala's dad.
Oh.
And it basically, Anwar's dad is kind of... so Anwar has a friend in Skins called Mickey. Not Mickey. It's not Mickey. It's...
Is he
Christ, on a
fine?
bicycle.
Is he so fine he blows his mind? Hey, Mickey.
He is. He is. He also played... Yeah, his character is gay within the series of Skins, and basically Anwar's dad, it goes against their religion to be gay, but there's a really lovely scene with his dad where he gets told Anwar's friend is gay, and he's like, you know what, like, and he says something like, "There's things that I will never understand," but you know, he kind of embraces him. He goes, you know, it's not going to change my view of you, and he's just a really lovely dad who just talks to it like Anwar's friends, and completely different way of life, completely different culture, but you wouldn't think anything of it, and it's that. And in an odd way, and I'd love to know if any listeners, kind of familiarised with it, is that Kamala's dad it felt really similar. So the way that we see Kamala's dad, who I should put a name to him, shouldn't I? Yusuf is that's not him. Oh, what's the dad's name called? Do you remember? He's gone on mute.
Sorry, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. The names, mate. The names are never on the website, so
honestly,
you look up either.
You should never check us for names on this podcast. We've already got a history of this for 2 years, nearly 2 years now. Yeah.
We're absolutely awful for names.
Get it so wrong.
Jesus Christ. But the dad is very... I don't know why I bothered with the segue. The segue is so irrelevant.
Do you know when we started so well? We started so well those 2 minutes, and then we said it's only going to get worse from here. Here we are. We're hitting the bottom.
Christ.
We fell down that mountain so high. It was a plummet. It was just... We're now here at the bottom. How you feeling?
So yeah, that guy that I can't remember his name, it's similar to this guy that I can't remember his name for absolutely no other reason than he's nice to the main character's friends. That is fucking brilliant. Lovely. But yeah, really nice scene. But we find out the bangle belonged to Aisha. They use the Illuminates instead of the Illuminati.
They do. Yeah, I was free. I love that. Very good.
Lad she is seeing is her auntie and he is her cousin. So so Aisha is her auntie in the end, or is her? Yeah,
they're related. They are related, aren't they? Yeah.
Which at that point we then think that the guy she's seeing is related. Turns out it's not the case by episode 3.
Yeah.
But by the end of the episode, I was like, that was hilarious to have a whole scene where he plays her like cousin and says, "Oh, we're cousins," to then go like, "Oh, actually, that is the case." It was quite funny. But yeah, as I say, turns out not to be the case. Episode 3 opens brilliantly. We go to 1942. We go to occupied India. Travel back in time. And we travel continents. Could only find one bangle. Aisha could only find one bangle.
Now we know the other one's off planet.
Well, we do. And we might see that bangle turn up in a film that we may have already talked about. Who knows?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe.
Might have to go watch it yourself.
Might be referencing the Marvels. Yeah, so Aisha and the gang exiled. They are from another dimension. Now, the minute she said that, It's so annoying. Yeah, I think at this point I'm going to say something. Do I have to spoil the Marvel? No, I'm going to try and not spoil the Marvels in the same way Matt
difficult,
did.
isn't it? It is
it's
really difficult.
difficult to do. But basically, when she says they're from another dimension,
Yeah.
that immediately made me think, oh shit, does that mean that they're from the dimension that we might see quite late in the Marvels movie?
Oh.
But then I was like, I don't know. And then basically, no, it's not. It's not. But I mean, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would have worked as well, to be honest. But
That would have been. It would have been a good, clear reason as to why they've come over, and then we end up back in that
clear
world.
reasons are something the MCU are not good at doing right now. So anyway,
No.
no.
So yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
think-
Go on, what-
I think with the group, the clandestines. I think that the word being. I mean, again, we will learn. You haven't watched this yet, but we will learn more about them going into 4, 5, and 6. But it needed more. I had no idea who. Sorry, you're from another dimension. Okay, cool, great. What dimension? What name are you? What does that mean? What's that against? Why? It's just there was a lot of questions, and again, I'm really bad about it. I'm really bad about this because I think whenever new information is given to me, right there and then, I'm like, I need to know exactly what you mean, so I then can follow.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I genuinely don't know whether that's just my personal, like, how I follow stories, and the logical part of my brain goes, I need to understand that in order to understand the next bit. But like, it felt like the best part in that episode, in episode 3, was the fight scene. Now I've got to, and I have put this down in my notes, is I said that's got to be one of the best fight scenes that I've seen this year, in terms of this current year, in terms of what I've seen in MCU. Like it was genuinely great. Like the wedding scene, in terms of when they kind of went through, they kind of break through into the kitchen and all that kind of stuff. You're crushing. Why are you afraid?
Because mate, this is the worst take I've heard you say for a long time, mate. But
You don't agree?
You keep going. You keep
Okay.
going. Mate.
No, I will. I will keep going because it was the it was the use that there was a genuine threat. Okay, so we had the 3 people that were turning up as a genuine threat. It kind of reminded me of your classic kind of like action hero movies where your hero is under the cosh, doesn't really know what's going on, doesn't know how to use their powers as well. Sorry, Thea's having a little bit of a meltdown in the living room. As you could probably hear it. There she is. There she goes.
Oh, bless her.
There she blows. We've got Kamala still trying to understand what's going on. She doesn't know who to fight. Her relative, not relative, boyfriend, not boyfriend, then defends her. And his mum is then in the fight as well. There's just loads of stakes at play in that moment. And I quite enjoyed it. I'm really interested at why you're frowning and you're saying you didn't. So, over to you, Forrest.
I think the action scene was the worst part of this episode. By
Interesting.
such a long stretch. It starts off with a fire alarm.
Yeah,
We get
and?
3 people come in who then don't cause a threat to anyone else in the wedding. So they walk through the doors. We're supposed to expect that no one's seen them. They don't say anything on arrival. They just, we go on a hiatus.
That's
from
more
what
of the
they're
mystique.
doing. 3 people like turn up at your wedding. I think everyone's going to be like, "What the hell's going on?" Oh,
They look
mate.
scary though. They look pretty badass, to be fair.
Well, exactly. You'll be crapping yourself. You wouldn't be going, "Oh, well, let me just politely pick my stuff up and leave, shall we?" So, Donna, do you reckon we should, pick your stuff up, love? We've got to go. These people are coming. Yeah, take your time, love. No problem at all. Yeah, and the champagne. Remember the champagne? It cost a bloody fortune at the bar, didn't it? So that's all going
Didn't know Patsy was invited. Patsy from Dagenham. She was invited to Jersey. Yeah, the wedding. Oh yeah, the Cole. Oh, it's getting married, is it? Oh, amazing.
the least international reference we've ever made, by the way. This is like, what? Dagenham? But yes, it's near London. There you go. What am I trying to say? So yeah, that happens. Then they don't hurt Kamala, so they're just walking close to Kamala, and Kamala's just hiding under stuff, and they walk a little bit closer. There's no combat whatsoever. Bruno gets magically injured, and then suddenly just goes on about the injury for bloody ages, whilst Kamala walks incredibly slowly with Bruno through corridors, and people just walk up to her slowly. The whole action is so slow, and there is no, like, they might have the stakes internally, but those stakes are not external whatsoever.
Ooh, we've got a little divide here, dear listener. So it's over to you. What are your thoughts on the fight scene?
What an awful fucking CBBC presenter. Another reference someone will get. And Peggy's in. Yeah, lovely. There you go.
Chaos.
That's what I think of that. That chaos is exactly what I think of that take. Oh.
Absolutely hilarious, that is. Well, okay, well, fine. Agree to disagree. I thought it was good. If anything, that was probably the best part of the 3 episodes so far. Other than the good, like, it was. It was, actually.
Wow.
I was actually quite enthralled by it.
What a take.
Yeah.
What a take.
It was pretty hard. It was hard hitting. It was fisticuffs. It was gritty. It just kind of felt like I was watching a bit from Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know, it felt like it could have been lifted out of that.
I think 2 better highlights in this episode, straight off the bat. Bruno mentions Dr. Eric Selvig. Did you hear that?
I did hear that, yes. Yes, actually, there were some pretty good Easter eggs, actually.
So, the world of Thor is mentioned. Dr. Selvig wrote about the Nor dimension, so the light dimension. Damage Control, the agency. Very cool little agency there. And also, I loved the guys saying they were Brown Jovi. Instead of Bon Jovi, and then we get a Bon Jovi classic. So the soundtrack for the action scene was great.
It was great.
Living on a Prayer, yes, please.
Classic song. Do you want to know one of the best Easter eggs in episode 1 to 3?
Shoot me up.
It was in the second one. It was the training montage that her and Bruno are on the top of the rooftops, having a little go at the hard light. Bruno has caught Kamala on the edge of the little rooftop that she's having a small little jump down. She says, "You have to let me go." Now, who else said that in a certain movie?
Spider-Man.
Oh my God, Jesus!
You have to let me go.
You have to let me go.
Mary Jane or something. It's one of the Mary Janes. You have to let me.
It's an MCU movie.
Spider-Man.
Certain movie where she, the character says to her best friend and goes, "You have to let me go," to retrieve a certain soul stone. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh my God, Forrest.
Oh, okay. Black Widow we're on about. Yeah, nice. Black Widow says it to Hawkeye.
Dear listener, I bet you're kind of like listening right now in a car, wherever you are, just screaming at Forrest. Just screaming at him there.
I don't know why I think it's Spider-Man.
Black Widow
because
said it.
Every time Mary Jane falls, she doesn't say "let me go," does she? She's like, "Pick me up," if anything. So it's a complete opposite. But yeah, nice.
But like, it's a weird Easter egg, isn't it? Because no one else knows that's what she said, other than Clint. Or it might have been something that Clint said to potentially Paul Rudd, not Paul Rudd, but like to Ant-Man, and then he revealed that in his podcast because Kamala's been listening to Ant-Man's podcast.
Yes.
So that, if I was to theorize how she knows that that's the last thing that Black Widow said, that's how it happened. But I wouldn't think that Clint would have revealed that kind of information.
No.
Weird, right? Though interesting. That's the best
It is.
Easter egg that I've got for you, mate, so far.
Do you know Kevin Feige has said that Avengers Con might be officially a thing soon?
Really?
So they are genuinely looking at doing a first Avengers Con. It will be in America, I'm sure. But,
we'll be that.
fucking consider us there, Kevin, K-Dog. Where's our little invite, K-Dog, please?
Psst, K-Dog. K-Dog. Hey, K-Dog. Come here. I'm just going to whisper. Hey, I'm just going to whisper in your ear, K-Dog. Can you bring us to Avengers Con?
But please, K-Dog, make sure that none of your female leads are there because Matt will not enjoy the day. He will think it's awful.
Don't listen to him, K-Dog. He's chatting shit.
Oh, mate. So that's the first 3 episodes of Miss Marvel.
Bloomin' is. I tell you what, should we have a little advert break and do some comments?
Shall we?
Yes.
Right, there we go.
Okay.
Ad break.
Ad
Done.
break. Lovely little ad break that was. About what was it, dear listener? Tell us. Shout out right now, wherever you are. What was the ad break? What was the ad? Great. Thank you very much. We'll take that cash, that 1p per advert. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the conversion rate is. Anyway, I want to rant. Do you want to have some comments, Forrest?
Go on then, mate. Go on,
Okay,
let's have
so
some
on our Instagram, we put out a story on what your ratings would have been for our last week's review, which was She-Hulk. We wrapped up She-Hulk last week. I know this is out of order. Yeah. We realised that. Forrest made a big humdrum about it last week, all right? We're going back, all right? So, yes, we went ahead. Now we're going back and whatever, all right? Yeah. She-Hulk, okay? We've got some comments. Okay, so Anton Kinolove says 4 out of 10. And he's not the only one, you know. Alice the Akare says 4 out of 10. Eric Thorpe Reviews says 4 out of 10 as well. So we have 3 4 out of 10s there. But we do have from Hugh V302 8.8 out of 10. So that's quite a difference.
8.8. Come on, Hugh, mate. Come on.
It's a bit high, but yeah.
Okay. 8.8.
It's a bit high.
I think that's stretching. Also, no one got the brief that we do crisp ratings on the show.
It's because it's so niche, Forrest. It's so cutting edge.
No one. But what I'd love to do, I do want a genuine crisp rating from someone not in the UK because I would love to hear about some crisps internationally.
Oh.
I think, and to be fair, if anyone internationally listening fancies sending us some crisps, by all means, let's try.
100%. If you've got like a crisp business that you're got online or whatever it is, and you're listening to this podcast, and you'll know people that own like a healthy snack business that might be of the contents of a crisp. Hey, look, we're open.
Yeah, you've ruined it healthy, but
we're open to some sponsorships, aren't we? We're available.
Yeah, well, absolutely. What a segue. Yeah, nice. Any other reviews for She-Hulk?
We did, well, not She-Hulk, but we did also give the opportunity for our dear listeners to comment on Miss Marvel. So, Charcuterie, who is coming on the podcast in a few weeks' time for our Christmas reviews, she literally just went, not seen it. Which I love.
And that's the kind of flippant honesty you're about to receive from Shah in about 3 weeks' time. There you go.
Honestly, it's going to be so good. I can't wait. We've got Mick Dundee, 1981, says, enjoyable, fun family movie. Well, movie series. Not every series has to be like Endgame or Black Panther, which I think actually, to be fair, is a fair comment. Eric Thorpe says it was very okay. I've warmed up to it a bit, but still don't want the MCU to become a Young Avengers thing. And then Anton Kinderlove just goes, fatal failed, with a heartbreak emoji. Genuinely seemed upset by it.
I don't understand the hate, man. I don't. But again, you know, I didn't understand it for the Marvels. So
that's the thing. I think when this first came out, I was kind of like, whoa, what is this? Because it is, when you think about it in retrospect, it is a bit of a left turn in terms of a completely new audience it's targeting. It's a new story. It's a young character. Sorry, it's a young character. You can understand, but like,
so. You're saying this, but how is it any different from Spider-Man?
No, fair point, mate. Absolutely, 1000%.
Same. It's exactly the same age range. It's supposed to be well, okay, they're at college, aren't they? A bit older, maybe. They're 18, 19, and Kamala and crew are probably, 16, 17? But,
but that's a fair point. I think
same target.
But like on my second watch, like I'm actually not really enjoying it, but I'm actually watching it. If we're comparing and contrasting.
Wow. You're watching it for the podcast.
No. We're comparing and contrasting to She-Hulk, mate.
I wouldn't have watched it.
Stark
but
difference.
now we're doing it for the podcast. I'm not really enjoying it, but I'm observing it. I'm watching it. I'm watching it from afar.
My name's Forrest, and I think everything's fun. Oh, it's great, yeah, it's really good, it's great, yeah, really enjoyed it. Mate, last time I heard you say a gripe was bloody January 2023.
Whoa, Doctor Strange I hate.
Oh, yeah, the one that was actually alright.
Alright, my arse.
Like I said, the MCU fandom is divided.
Have you got a crisp rating to end us on that?
Oh, have I got a crisp rating? I don't know, do I? Are we doing it now?
Oh, you didn't I do one for She-Hulk episode 1? Or did I do it at the end of She-Hulk?
Oh, I can't remember.
Did we leave it to episode 2?
Oh, no, let's do one. Okay, so basically, my review so far. All right.
Sake.
It's like I'm in the club and I've got the beats behind me, I've got the beats under my floor, and I'm feeling it through my chest, and I'm like, whoa, this is the best. What a feeling. And I'm moving and I'm grooving and I'm kind of like hit with this new life, this youthful life, and I'm like, I was there once too. I was young. I knew how it felt in school. Yeah, I'm with you. And then I was like, it kind of died down a little bit. And I was just a bit like, to be fair, it's not actually going to last forever, this feeling. So I realised I'm a little bit older as well. And actually, it's all right. It's fine. The beat was good. The feeling was good. It's all right so far. 4 out of 10. Crisp rating. Going to give it Salt and Vinegar Walkers.
Brilliant. Thanks for that.
That's all right, mate.
That's probably my favourite Matt segment you've done so far. I might even tip fan fiction for me. I might even tip fan fiction. Yeah. Honestly,
I'll take it.
It's literal lights. There's camera. There's action. There's
I was
music.
really feeling the beat actually as well.
I thought you were getting into a rap there. I thought we were going full on.
It kind of felt like spoken word was falling out. It was
spoken word poetry.
I mean, yeah.
Spoken word poetry? I don't mean that, do I? Performance poetry. Spoken word poetry, i.e. any poetry that's spoken out loud. Yeah, performance poetry. Slam poetry. What?
Yeah.
Slam? Loud.
I don't know.
Musical poetry.
Yes.
Lovely. Anyway, on that note, I'll give my rating next week.
All right.
I just wanted to hear you do that, mate. That's enough of me.
All right, mate.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for listening, dear listener. I appreciate you. Love you so much, as always.
So, monthly news roundup next week, followed by another week of Miss Marvel. We'll see you on the flippity flip.
Take care now.